What if I told you that moving around and having all of these endeavors and pieces of your life fragmented could be the reason you're not finding peace within? Today, we're going to talk about stillness, and that could be the valuable key you need to find peace in your life. Well, if that's your jam, like it is mine, join me. Stay tuned for more. So today's topic, we're talking about stillness. And this comes in light of one fabulous book that I read from an author that I'm very fond of. His name is Ryan Holiday and enters the book Stillness Is The Key. Now, if you know Ryan, he is one of the catalysts for great stoic philosophy. Think of his work with Robert Greene and others, but writing Obstacle is the Way, The Ego is the Enemy, so many more writings that are fueled by his thought process, his thinking, and the philosophy he has adopted for stoic paradigms and living. If you're new to the channel, I want to say welcome. My name is Anticio Duke, a product design strategist from Chicago. And in this channel, we talk about design, strategy, books, life, and so much more. So feel free to subscribe and, do all the rest of the fun things to join this community and keep us moving things forward. Today, we're talking about this particular book, Stillness is the Key. And in this book, it's broken down into 3 variable sections. And those 3 are the mind, the spirit, and the body. Now, in the first segment of this book, it's broken down to describe the mind. And as you know it, the mind can be very, very tricky. It can warp your reality, shape how you see things, and break up the monotony for reality, perspectives, and so much more. And that has its own set of chapters that are really, really descriptive, and they craft different scenarios and these stories for philosophy, war, strategy. Once reading that particular segment, you'll have a really good understanding of how the mind could be a catalyst for change. It's one of the biggest. And once you're able to identify the things within your mind and how your thought processes work, then you're able to understand how to shape your reality to better suit your needs. Looking at some of the context and some of the chapters here, one is to start journaling, defining what you need to get those thoughts out of your head, to take time and craft the random minutia of life. Capture those thoughts, things that you learn, things that you want to commit to memory. The art and the technique of journaling could be something that can transform how you operate on the day-to-day. And that's definitely vital to the mind. Another chapter in this book is Seek Wisdom. This has everything to do with focusing on the value of learning, understanding what life experience can do for you, and how to see life in a way to get informed and educated by the situations that are in front of you. I believe this is valuable for all people, whether you're young, old, whether you're experienced or novice, regardless of what your standing is, wisdom has its advantages and it is priceless. So adopting that for the mind segment is vital. One other chapter that really spoke to me, and I'll read a quote from this particular segment. It was being present. Now, this quote is one that really stands out, and I'll share it with you today. This quote says, "Being present demands all of us. It's not nothing. It may be the hardest thing in the world." Now, as short and poignant as that is, it is so true. Many of us nowadays have scattered thoughts and broken attention span due to the demands of work and life, but also the devices we carry and the demands on life and technology that we have in place. So presence, attention, those things are the truest commodity of the day. They are the highest form of currency to give your attention to someone and to be present in the moment. It is vital to the success of you and the peace that you wish to seek in your life. Part 2 is a segment about the spirit. Yes, this is really, really critical to evolution. So we think about the inner child we have, the anxieties, the worries that come about, and even our gut intuition, some of the things that we can't see, but we know to be true and know to be there. That is more so revolving around the spirit. Now, there are stories in here that capture things around religious beliefs, around Leonardo da Vinci, some of the thought leaders of the time, and what they actually went through. So it is rooted with learnings, teachings, if you will, about the spirit. Some of these particular chapters are wrapped around the soul and how we see and feel things in the world. The chapters listed in this book may be of importance because they hint on something larger than our current life. Here are a few chapters that exist in this particular segment. 1, accept a higher power. Understand that there's something that is bigger than you. There is something that is larger than our present. There is a outer world, a higher power that lives and dwells amongst us. No matter what your beliefs are, be mindful that there is a higher power that is relevant to all of us. If we believe, that is powerful. Understanding that there's something greater out there at work, out there at play, that is observing and that is the steward for all things right here, right now. Another chapter is all is one. And then this, it describes that we are all as one. We share maybe the same blood. We share the same organs. We share and are rooted amongst bones, organs, blood, and air. And we need to start treating one another as such. We bleed just like the next person. We breathe just like the next person. That does not mean that we need to attack, to be deliberately violent, demeaning towards another. We are all rooted in one thing called the human race. Very powerful segment. The last one I'll talk about in this particular segment is beware desire. And this one was powerful. I'll read a quote that really stood out for me on this one. A person enslaved to their urges is not free, whether they are a plumber or the president. Take from that what you will. You can be at the highest level and maybe oversee the greatest country in leadership, or a blue collar worker that services individuals and makes sure that things are functioning properly. But you are not free if you are a slave to the urges you carry. So your desires, whether it's something related to pornography, whether it's an addiction or gambling, whatever those things are, they are rooted in a desire that's beyond you, and they take away from the freedom you have in being the best version of yourself. And so that particular chapter is major in identifying what we sometimes overlook and sometimes are unwilling to identify and admit to. Very, very powerful chapter. That's the spirit. And the last segment of this particular book is rooted in the body. Yes, the body. We're going from the mind, the spirit, and the body. And that doesn't mean to focus on relaxation or getting massages or treating yourself. Now, that's part of your life experience, but it has way more to do with how you function and how you see the world. Some of those chapters that are written in this is also focused on how you not only move your body, but what you're actually doing with it. So, one particular title and chapter is called Say No. As simple as it is, there's a lot of people who don't really know the value of saying no. It may be challenging for them to really use that word, especially when it comes to friends, family members, peers. There's a time and a place for everything. And saying yes to everything takes away from you executing on your life's work. So the ability to say no is powerful and one that you should adopt both early and often. Another title, Seek Solitude. Now, solitude doesn't really refer to being a hermit, isolating yourself from the world, and not wanting to be bothered, if you will. Solitude in this context has everything to do with separating yourself in order to understand yourself better. You see, there's something that we need to be mindful of for ourselves and for the next version that we have yet to be. And that's self-awareness. When you intentionally separate from things, people, actions, and activities, you then have time to focus directly on what's plaguing you, what your anxiety is about, what your worries and concerns, the early childhood things that have festered and developed in your body and in your mental state. You get to learn more about you. And that is one of the most powerful things that you could do, not only from this book, but just in life. So seeking solitude is something that I value, and you should too, because it's only going to help you transcend to that next level and be the best version of yourself. Here's one quote from the body segment from the title of Be a Human Being that really stood out to me. Moderation, being present, knowing your limits. This is the key. The body that each of us has was a gift. Don't work it to death. Don't burn it out. Protect the gift. For you 10, 12-hour workers, those of you who are really committed to going and going consistently without reprieve or break, this refers a lot to you. Don't burn out that gift you have of your body. You only have one vessel to move through this life. Protect it at all costs. And it will actually work better for you. That's all we have today. A great book by a great writer, Ryan Holiday, with Stillness Is The Key. Now, if you haven't read any of his other books, that's okay. This one stands alone as well. But you'll be surprised that some of these things may pique your interest and jog your memory. But I would say tap into it. Understand some of the things and the approaches that he refers to, and apply some of these to your own life. This will not only help you in more ways, but also help you navigate some of the situations and the people you find yourself dealing with day in, day out. Well, that's my time. If you like this video for whatever reason, hit that like button and subscribe, as we'll be releasing more content, more things around design, more readings, because I absolutely love to do it, and finding more things to help you learn and be a better version of yourself. All right. I'll leave a link so that you can access the book should you feel free to do so. And in the meantime, in between time, your life has color. So make sure to design it that way. And we will see you in the next one. If you do have any comments or concerns on this book, or just want to share your overall thoughts or a new philosophy you may want to introduce in your life, do that. Share it in the comments below and check out this video for another great book review. We'll see you in the next one.